Hello, I'm Tom Wicknick. Welcome to the KZGN News.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Tomorrow, the City Council meets at 6 p.m. in the Ridgecrest City Hall in the council chambers. Topics for discussion are 1. Presentation of a proclamation recognizing the month of April as DMV Donate Life California Month. On the council consent calendar, adopt a resolution awarding a construction contract for the signing and striping of 12 intersections utilizing funds from Highway Safety Improvement Program to super seal and stripe, and authorizing the city manager, Dennis Spear, to execute the contract. On Monday, January 26, 2015, the bids were open for the signing and striping of 12 intersections utilizing funds from Highway Safety Improvement Program at the following intersections: Richmond Road in California, Down Street at Bowman, Down Street at Dolphin, Down Street at Graff, Down Street at Upjohn, Down Street at Ward, Norma Street at Bowman, Norma Street at Graff, Norma Street at Moyer, Norma Street at Reeves, Norma Street at Sidnor, and Norma Street at Upjohn in the city of Ridgecrest. The project consists of access ramps, signing, and striping at all these intersections. Staff recommends that the contract be awarded to the lowest responsible and responsive bidder, Super Seal and Stripe, with a bid of $240,370. Next, they'll adopt a resolution to amend the professional service agreement contract amount with the engineering firm of Wildan Engineering Incorporated to provide additional service of rescoping, bidding assistance, and construction management for the city corporation yard and bus garage at the city's corporation yard, property located at 636 West Ridgecrest Boulevard. The proposed time and materials not to exceed fee contract is for construction of a new bus garage transit facility is $120,428. And the proposed time and materials not to exceed for contract for the city corporation yard improvement is $148,613,000. The total for both projects will be $269,946. Next, they'll adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign the notice of completion, authorizing the city clerk to file the notice of completion, and authorize the release of retention on the South Sunland Avenue project. Next, they'll adopt a resolution approving the program supplement agreement with the State of California Department of Transportation under a master agreement and authorizing the city manager, Dennis Spear, to sign the agreement for the Graff Avenue project from North Sierra View Street to North Norma Street. The total estimated cost of the total project is $116,578. Topics up for public information and discussion are adopting a resolution authorizing proclamations for the annual Blue Jacket Awards and announcing the date and time of the presentation. And in the discussion and other action items, approval of installation of a memorial plaque honoring former Mayor Ronald H. Carter to be placed at the Leroy Jackson Skate Park. If the council approves the memorial, the project would consist of the design, purchase, and installation of a memorial plaque. The proposed fee to complete this scope of work is $1,000 to $3,000, depending on the type of signage. Funds for this project will be coming from the Leroy Jackson Park budget, and the city has received monetary verbal commitments of $250 each from 4 individuals to help defray the cost. Next, they'll adopt a resolution of the City of Ridgecrest recognizing the critical work of Eastern Sierra Connect Regional Broadband Consortium in deploying broadband throughout the region and the necessity to leverage broadband resources through the continuation of a consortium activity by state funding as proposed by Assembly Bill 1262, authored by Assemblyperson Jim Wood. This request for a letter of support for AB 1262 has been brought to the Council by Justin O'Neill as part of his ongoing consulting agreement with the City. AB 1262 proposes to allocate additional funding to the Rural and Urban Region Broadband Consortia Grant account, which is in turn will benefit the efforts of this community through Eastern Sierra Connect Regional Broadband Consortia to enhance the connectivity and reliability of Internet capability for local businesses. Next on the agenda is ordinances for discussion. This is the second reading and adoption, ordinance number 15-02, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Ridgecrest, amending the Ridgecrest Municipal Code, Chapter 6, Article 24 with regard to license tax rates and classifications. In Indian news, KZGN reported about a week ago that the Indian Community Service District had voted to look into dissolving the district. The CSD supplies streetlights, wastewater treatment, and sewers to the Indian area. The operations manager reported that there is not much to report. He has met with LAFCO executive director, who basically said they can't dissolve without someone stepping up to take it over. He also said he is discussing the issue with the county as well, but no real progress has been made. KZGN contacted Mayor Breeden to see if she has heard anything about this. Her answer was, "I have talked to some of the board members, and I know Don Zadiba has as well to Brian. LAFCO has it in their hands right now. I have asked Mick Gleason if there is anything we need to do. LAFCO is where the process rests for the moment. In the meantime, we'll wait to see what happens. So we'll keep an eye on this and see where it goes." In Saracosa Community College news, Public Relations and Marketing Manager Natalie Durrell just released a compelling calendar of events. On March 25th, Art with Impact will feature an evening of movies for mental health, complete with hors d'oeuvres and discussion in the College Lecture Center from 6 to 8 p.m. There is no charge and is open to the public. Saturday, March 28th at 2 p.m., it's open mic in the Sculpture Garden, and at 6 in the College Gymnasium, the Saracosa College Coyote Club presents Youth Hall of Fame Dinner and Auction. The fundraiser celebrates extraordinary achievements by students. Dinner is $20 for adults and $10 for kids, and free for the award winners. Get your tickets at the college. We'll be back after these messages with more KZGN News. Now it's time for the 28th KZGN News Talking Points editorial. The topic of today's editorial is it okay to do something wrong now if someone did it earlier and got away with it? But first, a couple comments about last Tuesday's editorial titled, What Does It Take to Get the Media to Cover a Real Hero's Death? To recap, I believe the media dedicates too much time honoring deaths of people in their profession or Hollywood people, when they provide little coverage to fallen soldiers, police, or fire department people. I think it should be the other way around. Some Facebook comments came in. Elizabeth said, I completely agree with Tom's editorial in that the media certainly does lack coverage of U.S. war heroes. Reed said, like it or not, celebrities will sell more copies than war heroes. Ryan said, as a country, we have lost sight of what defines hero, commands attention, and demands respect. Well, thanks to everyone for your comments. Now on to today's topic. Is it okay to do something wrong now if someone earlier did it and got away with it? Have you ever noticed what happens when we hear about some politician violating some rule or law? This sparks up supporters to jump in to defend them, and it encourages detractors to jump in and attack. And the defense usually evolves into the supporter pointing out that an opponent doing the same thing or similar thing before and getting away with it. Or said another way, the supporter feels, if you attack my guy for doing whatever, why didn't you attack your guy when he did it? Well, first I have to ask, how do you know the attacker didn't attack the previous guy in the past? Second, whether the previous guy did it and got away with it, does it change what just happened? I know that part of the frustration is that most of us don't like people we agree with being attacked. Many feel the need to defend our guy. We all have flaws and are not perfect people. We all make mistakes. I know I've made mistakes. I'm human. But I guess when the people in high offices or positions do improper things, it really doesn't matter. Or does it? I think it does. I think the more a person gains position to affect larger and larger groups of people, they have to accept that they then have the burden to be the best they can be, and to not think they are above the law or above the common person. They are really just like you and me. They may have more things, more money, more friends, or more people dawning after them. But in the end, they all face the pearly gates the same way everyone does. No one has frontal line privileges there. For those of you that don't believe there is a heaven, so be it. That's okay with me. But I do believe that we will ultimately answer for our lives on earth somehow, or our kids will, as we leave behind, and will have to answer for things we have done. No one is immune from accountability. Many times, when a person does something wrong, they often try and find a person to say it was okay, and here's why. If your guy is accused of doing something wrong, and you don't think it's wrong, say so. If you think it's okay, say why you think it's okay. But don't defend your guy for doing something wrong by saying some other guy did it too. In conclusion, I don't care if someone else did something wrong and got away with it. It doesn't change the fact that what was done was wrong. It doesn't matter who did it or why. It just matters it was wrong. Admit to our flaws, learn from them, and don't make the same mistake twice. I'm Tom Whitenick, and that's what I think. If you have any comments about this editorial or would like to discuss or recommend a topic, I'd like to hear from you. Please email them to info@kzgn.net. Stay tuned for sports and weather when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. Now let's go to Keith for the weather.
Thank you, Tom, and good evening, folks, and happy St. Paddy's Day to you. Regionally, the weather looks mild for most of the U.S., with a few exceptions. From Maine to Massachusetts, it was a little chilly with temps in the high 20s to the 50s, but that changes the further south you work your way towards Florida, which was at 83 degrees. As we look west to the central states, Kansas, Missouri, and Colorado were in the low 40s to low 50s. On the west coast, Washington and Oregon were in their low 50s. And here's what we're looking for tonight and the rest of the week. Mostly cloudy with a low around 51. South-southwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, mostly cloudy with a low around 50. South-southeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Becoming southwest later in the evening. Wind gusts can get as high as 15 miles per hour. And in the higher elevations, there is a chance of showers and thunderstorms, so be careful. Thursday will be mostly sunny with a high near 80, calm wind. Thursday night, mostly clear with a low around 45, east-southeast wind 10 miles per hour. Friday will be sunny with a high near 82, north-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. And on Friday night, partly cloudy with a low around 48, west-southwest wind at 10 miles per hour. And that is your forecast for this St. Paddy's Day 2015. And now back to Tom.
Thanks a lot, Keith. And now, Tom Hecht with the Sports Report.
And a pleasant Tuesday afternoon to everybody. Let's start with a local note of sports. This afternoon, Burroughs and Moore Park going at it at Moore Park. Varsity baseball, Syracuse off to a great 5-0 start. John Bradley has his team playing very well. Good depth this year. Syracuse baseball also today against San Bernardino. They'll be home again Saturday, that game at noon. Okay, NCAA brackets. Everybody should have one. Grab one, fill it out, and you have as good a chance as anyone. The man in the moon, the experts, doesn't matter when it comes to the NCAA. All right, let's look at some notable games. Kentucky, if they run the gauntlet, they'll end up 40-0. They're number one overall and number one in the Midwest. They'll open up with a winner of Manhattan and Hampton, which play tonight for the play-in game. That game will not even be close when they play the Wildcats. Cincinnati and Purdue, that'll be a good game. You got the 8 and 9 going head-to-head. I'm picking Cincinnati to win that one. My upset special, I've got Valparaiso knocking off Maryland, and that's my upset special for the Midwest. Valparaiso, the number 13, Maryland, the number 4. All right, Notre Dame, I look for them to get all the way until they play Kentucky. They will take on Northeastern. Notre Dame, fresh off a win in the ACC tournament. They defeated North Carolina for the championship game. They've got momentum on their side right now. An interesting game in the Midwest that could go either way. Wichita State and Indiana. Now the Shockers got beat in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament, so they have something to shoot for right now. They are a 7th seed. All right, Kansas a 2 seed. They'll trample New Mexico State. And we go to the West. Wisconsin has a number 1 seed. They'll play Coastal Carolina first round. They'll demolish them. Oregon and Oklahoma State, that'll be a very good game. I'll look for the Ducks to win that one. Arkansas and Wofford. Boy, that could be an interesting game. Wofford, out of South Carolina, used to be an all-girls school years ago. They are a good basketball team. That's going to be a close game, folks. I'm going to take Arkansas, but not by much. North Carolina plays Harvard. North Carolina should win that one. And looking down that bracket also, Arizona, the number 2 seed out of the Pac-12, they will demolish Texas Southern before they'll take on the winner of VCU, Virginia Commonwealth, and Ohio State. That's the other game that you could pick either team to win. Ohio State, the 10 seed, VCU, the 7 seed, VCU, the conference champions. They defeated Davidson to get where they're at for that seed. All right, we go to the East. Top seed Villanova, they'll demolish Lafayette first round. North Carolina State, LSU, the 8 and the 9, that's going to go any which way. Hard to guess that game. Louisville is going to take on UC Irvine. Louisville, the 4 seed. UC Irvine won the Big West tournament on Saturday night. They beat Hawaii. Also another interesting game, I've got Oklahoma and Albany. Now that could be an upset special right there. Albany the 14, Oklahoma the 3 in the East. I would not be surprised if Albany, the Great Danes, defeat Oklahoma. Michigan State's going to roll over Georgia. Virginia will demolish Belmont. Virginia, the number 2 seed. We go to the last bracket from the South region, number 1 team Duke. They'll take on the winner of North Florida and Robert Morris, being played in just a few hours. They'll demolish them. San Diego State, St. John's. Boy, that's the 8 and the 9. San Diego State got beat in the Mountain West tournament by Wyoming. Boy, I don't know who to pick in that one. I'm going to guess, and I say guess, St. John's, although they suspended one of their starting players last night. Utah, Stephen F. Austin. That's my other upset. I'm going to take Stephen F. Austin to beat Utah, the 12 versus the 5. Georgetown, Eastern Washington. That's going to be an intriguing game. Eastern Washington's a good basketball team. They defeated Montana Saturday night to win the Big Sky. Jim Hayford's got a good crew up there. They defeated Indiana earlier this year at Indiana. Can they beat Georgetown? I'd like to see it happen. Don't know, but wouldn't be a big guess. It wouldn't be going out of the way to take Eastern Washington in that game against Georgetown. All right, let's look at UCLA. The Bruins, the 11th seed, take on SMU and Larry Brown. Larry Brown coached UCLA to an NCAA championship, 1980. Will that happen again with Larry Brown and SMU? No. Look for UCLA to beat the Mustangs. Iowa State and UAB. Iowa State should demolish them, fresh off a win. They won the Big 12 tournament. And the number 2 seed Gonzaga takes on North Dakota State. That'll be a wipeout. All right. Going to be very interesting day of basketball, Thursday and Friday. First round game, second round game, Saturday and Sunday. If you're a basketball junkie, get ready, because this is a time of year where you're going to thrive. Whether you're really a fan or just like to get together, fill out a bracket. As I mentioned, you have a good chance as anybody to win it. That's your sports for this Tuesday. For KZGN, I'm Tom Heck.
So that's the news for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for TV news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only community station. And happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody.